Hello and welcome back to Classic Helmets. Well, thank you for tuning in. My name is Dexter. It is a slightly grey and miserable day in Northern Ireland, but what is not miserable is what is in this Arai cloth bag here. It is a replica of a well-known British superbike champion from the 90s and early to mid 2000s. So, without further delays, let's get the cloth bag off and have a good look at the helmet. Well, there we go. So this is a 2003 to 2005 John Reynolds British Superbike race replica. And I have to say it is probably in my top 10 all-time replica designs. Quite patriotic, but without being overly so. I like the detailing with the stars, and it has the JR logo on the back of the helmet, which is quite nice. So this is a Astro R model, and it does come with a couple of issues. On the Astro Rs, the top vents do sometimes stop working. This one, for example, is not working, but I do have a spare top vent, which is popping and snapping perfectly fine. So we'll get that on. And also something you may have already noticed, the side pod. So a lot of the older Arais have an issue where it could be to do with not locating and taking on and off the visor correctly, but it's probably more just due to age. The top lug has perished. So I'll quickly get that off and show you what I mean. Get the trusty Arai tool, move the grey locator out the way, pushing the red tab on the inside, click off like that. What I'll do is I'll get another side pod from my collection. Well, I shall get the replacement one. So yeah, this side pod, unfortunately the top lug has really seen better days, and it's about to, well there you go, it's actually just pinged off in my hand. So that is why that's not working. So we can get rid of that. But I do have a replacement. Fortuitously, in one of my stashes of single side pods, I did have a replacement, and it's in good condition, so that's excellent. So what this helmet needs really is just to very quick clean up. The shell is actually in fantastic condition. No major marks to concern ourselves with. Obviously the base plate does need a quick clean, and I'll adjust it slightly as well. I'm not going to touch the other side because if this one also pings off, I think it's okay, but I'd rather just not touch it basically. Leave it as it is. I can give it a quick spray of some degreaser, and that means that the visor that will go on it will be all good. So I'm just going to spray a bit of this on first. We'll get the side pod and the base plate serviced first. Need to get some more muck off shortly. Get the trusty Vulcanet wipes. That is a little bit grubby there, I think we can safely say. But actually, it's all intact, it's all working and looking pretty good to me, so that's the main thing. I'm just going to adjust these screws, because as I have mentioned in previous videos when servicing side pods and base plates, you can push these forward or back, which very slightly adjusts the visor. So I want to push it pretty far forward actually this time around, so that's forward and held in place. There we go, much better. So just give that a quick clean off there. Make sure all working parts are in good order, any nooks and crannies. Yeah, I mean that cloth's already dark, so that just shows that it did need a bit of a quick service and clean up around there. We want to pull this red tab back. There you go, that's slotting into place. Now I've just double checking myself. This side pod is absolutely fine. The lug on the top is nice and square. There's no damage to it. So again, we'll just give that a very quick once over. Doesn't need much, but it's okay. And the other side as well. Now this is the bit that I hate the most, but let's see. Don't worry, I'm a professional. Yep, I just felt that click. It sometimes makes noise, it sometimes doesn't, but that's definitely in place. So that's the first job done, replace the side pod. So the second job is to get rid of this defective top vent. Other side and the rears are working all good, as is the front. So for this, I'm just going to get the thin side of the Arai tool, and we'll just feed it through like that, and then we should be able to just literally pop it off like that. Yeah, once these go, you can't really fix them, so that can also go in the bin. I want to get rid of the old adhesive tape. I do have some fresh stock that I'll use. There we go, now that's off, we'll just give that area a bit of a clean up. Remove any excess dirt, grit and muck, which there was a bit of there. Lovely. Yep, that's looking good. That area is ready to take the replacement part which I've got here. Just line it up, make sure it fits correctly, which it does. The Astro R and Viper GT models. In America, I think they're called the Quantum 2 and the Profile. And Japan as well, they use the same top vent, so that's all good. So, need my adhesive strips. I have a stash of adhesive strips here. Some of them are Unibond. Some are double-sided number plate strips, which are very tough and very good, and you can really cut them down to size. I think I'll use my double-sided number plate ones today. Now the pair of scissors I'm just going to trim down thinly. Probably about that thick will do us. Don't want it too thick, but don't want it too thin either. We want to make sure it actually sticks to the helmet. I'd say that's pretty good. I'm going to just chop it in half, which is about that. A bit more. Because essentially these do fit down one channel per side, and they do fit actually pretty well. So we will take off the first bit of backing. Pop you down there. You can feed it along, and you can actually slightly bend and twist the adhesive as well. I actually quite like using this stuff. It's got me out of a lot of trouble so many times. So that's nice and straight on the first channel. Now the second channel is a little bit longer, so we can actually slightly cheat here. You can actually snip off a little bit on the end. I'm going to put that bit along here actually. Give ourselves plenty of space, plenty of room. Make sure that it goes on evenly and positively. So this is kind of similar to how that would come out the factory at Arai. There would be a little strip here, but because this one is already long enough, it should be fine. There shouldn't be an issue with that. So make sure these are all really nice and tight on. Give them a good press down. Right, all the backing's off, and we have the grooved channels with which to put this in, so we'll just line that up. Something along those lines there will do, I think. Yeah, that's looking really nice actually. Again, just give it a bit of a press down. This doesn't have to be perfect, but I want it to be at least very good, so there we go, that's on, looking good. There we go, so that's the side pod replaced with a quick base plate service and a new top vent fitted as well. So all the helmet needs now is a quick clean up. I'll be totally honest actually, the interior liners are actually really good. So they don't even smell that bad actually, they smell pretty good as well. So we'll give them a once over at the end. I'll give the shell a very quick spray and buff. I have to say kudos to the previous person who had it, because the shell and paintwork is actually almost immaculate, it really is. Things like side pods and vents, they do break and snap over time, it's just one of those things. And there we go. That is the shell and paintwork really looking fantastic. I love it when these come in. These old designs, it just reminds me of when I was younger, watching people like John Reynolds, Michael Rutter, Scott Smart, literally kicking two bells out of each other. vying for the win in British Superbikes, and that's such a nice design, that. It really is. That's beautiful, that. We'll just give the interior a quick once over. Well, there we go, that's the interior, having had a very quick clean. I'll try and show the camera with my light behind it. So you can see it's a very positive blue colour, not too dark, not too light. So the final job is to stick a visor on this. Now, I had a trade contact get in touch with me who's looking for one of these, and he likes helmets typically with dark visors or at least a dark pin lock insert. And I have one here which I can use. Clear visor with a dark insert, so he'll get this one. Now, just to make life easier for me, I'm going to spray the side pods a little bit more. Just some penetrating and lubricating fluid, just makes everyone's life easier. And I'll give these little bits here a quick spray as well. Now, wish me luck, this is where everything could go wrong, but I'm confident in my skills. We're in. And we're in. It's pretty good, just a bit more. Can never overdo it with these on the older helmets. That's making a very positive noise in my opinion. Visor is pretty clean, might just give it a once over as well. Can't do any harm. And there we go. That is a 2003 to 2005 Arai Astro R John Reynolds British Superbike race replica, having had a very light restoration. New side pod and base plate serviced, new top vent which is all working beautifully and sticking in place very well with the new adhesive, and it's had a very, very quick sort of detail on the shell, and the interior line is looking very impressive as well. So in today's market, what would one of these Astro R John Reynolds replicas be worth? Well, this one as it is, I've done a bit of a deal with my trade contact. I think it's worth about 160-ish, 175 maybe. If you had one of these brand new boxed manuals, everything, I don't see why it couldn't be worth £400 plus. So what I think I'll do is I'll put it on my little turntable thing, and you can see it from all angles, and I'll put some pictures in there as well. Well, thank you very much for tuning into Classic Helmets. My name is Dexter, and if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. That's down there specifically for that purpose. If you'd like to see more content featuring replica Arais and also Shoei helmets, please hit that subscribe button. We're getting very close to 100 subscribers, and there's plenty more content coming your way. I'm going to be fixing up this Arai RX-7 GP shortly, and you'll see that on the channel in the next week or two. So from Classic Helmets here in Northern Ireland, have a great day whatever you're up to, take care and goodbye.